Day one of the playoffs begins today. We are going to be breaking down the Mariners playoff roster coming up. We're going to be discussing how much experience this team has, young versus old. We're going to be breaking down the Guardians versus Tigers game one series because the Mariners are playing the winner of that. So we got to break that down. And then finally, we're going to be talking about some of the keys for the Seattle Mariners to make a deep playoff run and make it to the World Series because that is the goal, baby, and we're gonna do it. I promise. No, I can't promise that. Hi guys, how are we doing? Welcome to Mariners Daily, episode 11 of this daily podcast. I'm Sam Edwards. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode. I really appreciate it. Let's get into the Mariners playoff roster. Who is on the bubble? Who's not? Who's gonna make the playoff roster? Who shouldn't? I've got a couple names here, a couple names that need to be cut. Um, I first off is Harry Ford, the young kid, the young catcher. I don't think he should be on the playoff roster. He just hasn't played enough, and he hasn't done anything in his extremely limited amount of time in the majors. 8 games, 8 plate appearances. He's not meant to be on the roster. They're going to carry 2 catchers most likely, and I don't think Ford is going to be one of them. Um, Mile Miles Mastrobuoni, he's another guy that just hasn't done anything with his opportunity in the majors. Over 175 plate appearances, 1 home run, 6 stolen bases. He's not striking out very much, which is kind of the MO for him. Only a 16.6 K percentage versus the 9.7 walk percentage, which is nice, but that's all he's doing. He's hitting 250, 324 for the on base, and a 296 slugging percentage, good for a 85 runs created plus. He's been positive F war slightly, and he can play all over the diamond. So that's nice. We've seen him at third, we've seen him at second, we've seen him in right field, left field. Like he can play throughout. So maybe you keep him on as like a utility type guy, possibly. We'll see. That's very possible. Next up is Cole Young, the young kid, 257 play appearances, I should say. 4 homers, 1 stolen base, 10.9 walk percentage for him, which is also very nice. He's only hitting 211 though, 302 for the on base, at 305 slugging percentage, 80 runs created plus. And he has not looked good defensively at second base either. And that's really the only reason why I think you would keep Young on the roster for the playoffs is just as a defensive replacement, but he has not looked good at second base this season. So I don't know. Maybe you keep him as a backup, maybe you don't. I don't think you need him. I think you could easily leave him off the roster and you're not going to miss him very much. So maybe they keep Master Brioni on Miles. Maybe they keep him on as a utility guy and they leave Young off. I don't know. They're close. They're very close. Young has had at least a little bit more power. A 305 slugging percentage versus 296 for Master Bioni. So I'm not sure. Another guy that I find interesting, I don't think they're going to leave him off the roster, if anything, just because he's a right-handed bat, and that's what you could say about these next two names. Victor Robles, and I know, listen, I'm going to get torn down for this. I'm going to get ripped apart. You probably clicked off the episode already. No, it's yes, he made an amazing diving catch, and his arm ranks extremely highly defensively, but he hasn't done much else. 114 plate appearances, 1 homer, 6 stolen bases. He could be a pitch runner as well, so maybe he works in that scenario. Um, what else? What else he got for me? He's hitting 245, 281 with a 330 slugging percentage, good for a 75 runs created plus. He's been worth negative before. Now you could argue that catch versus the Astros was worth, quite a bit. And listen, I'm not here to argue that, but he's played over 100 plate appearances with not much to show for it. So he does have one of the best moments of our season, maybe the best, maybe the best. And so he's shown to be good defensively. So like and he's a right-handed bat. Maybe he's a little bit better versus lefties, even though I checked the splits and it didn't look like he was that much better versus lefties, especially this season. So maybe he just hasn't had enough time. Now Robles is not known to be like an amazing hitter or anything like that. So you kind of know him as the defensive replacement. Pardon me. Mm. Oof. Pardon the yawn. You kind of know him as the defensive replacement speed guy. So I could easily see him staying on the roster, and you just hope that he can come through. Another guy that hasn't done a whole lot, but I know why he's going to be on the roster, and I don't think they're going to take him off, especially if they keep Ford off the roster, is Mitch Garver, the backup catcher. 290 plate appearances for him, 9 home runs, 3 stolen bases, a 10.3 walk percentage is nice, but he's striking out 27% of the time. Not fantastic. Hitting for the season 209 with a 297 on base and a 343 slugging. Good for an 86 runs created plus. It's not great. He does hit much better versus lefties. A 233 batting average versus lefties versus the 182 that he has versus righties. It all comes out to a 718 OPS versus lefties versus the 550 he's got versus right-handers. A 107 runs created plus versus lefties and a 63 runs created plus versus right-handed pitchers. So I understand why they're going to keep Garver on the roster. You need a backup catcher. He's better than Ford right now. Obviously, you hope Ford steps up next year and he can be that, solid backup slash maybe DH even. And we can kind of phase Mitch Garver out of the team. But I do think that Garver could have some moments versus some lefties, um, especially if, say, like the Tigers win this series versus the Guardians. Pardon the yawn again. Holy crap. Especially if the Tigers win versus the Guardians and we have to face them and we have to face Scooble, Garver's probably going to be in that game, um, facing the lefty. So, and there's plenty of other key lefties that they would have to face throughout the playoffs. So I do think that Garver will be on the roster. I think that if I was doing it, I would probably leave Ford and Cole Young off the roster. Yes, I think that's what I would do. Let me know what you guys would do. What do you think they should do? Who are the two players that they need to leave off the roster? Because right now they have 28 men on their active roster. Good September, and they need to cut two guys. I don't think they're going to cut any of the pitchers. I think they're going to cut Ford, and then it's kind of like who you go with Miles. Do you go with Cole Young? I think they're going to go with Cole Young. Miles can just play everywhere, and that has inherent value. Woo. Oh, I'm sorry about the yawns here, guys. It's early. I guess it's freaking 8:30 a.m. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I apparently didn't sleep well enough. Just had my coffee too. Oh my gosh. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for joining me. Who do you think? Who do you think's gonna who do you think's gonna get cut from this roster for the playoffs? I think it's gonna be Ford and Young. I think that's probably what it should be. But yeah. So either way. Um, next up, how much experience does this team actually have in the playoffs? Like, I think naturally with this team, they just feel like a young team. But then as I started thinking about it, 2022 was not that long ago, 3 years ago. And we've got a lot of guys that are still on this team slash came back to this team. Um, and one key guy as well that just has all of the playoff experience in the world. We've got a lot of guys with experience, and I want to go over their playoff stats with you guys just as a little refresher because you always forget. You're like, oh yeah, you know, Gilbert did pretty well. Did he? Did he? Let's figure it out. JP Crawford is first off. He has 24 plate appearances. He had 24 plate appearances in that 2022 playoff run. It was only 5 games. What was it? Two, three, yeah, 5 games. It's only 5 games. But either way, we did beat the Blue Jays, so that's fantastic. 24 plate appearances for him, 2 doubles, 1 home run. He hit 190 with a 292 on base and a 429 slugging. So the power was there for JP Crawford, but we need to see him be a little bit more consistent and maybe walk just a little bit more. Gino Suarez, 21 plate appearances for him. He also had, sorry guys, I'm going to shake this off real quick. 21 plate appearances for Gino, 2 doubles, 1 homer. He hit 350 with a 381 on base, 600 slugging, 981 OPS for Gino Suarez in that 2022 playoffs. The next guy is freaking Randy Arozarena, who's been cold in September. I will say it's been a little scary to watch. Got to see him start picking it up a little bit, especially for the playoff run, because we're going to need him. He's the one, obviously, that has the most playoff experience. 128 plate appearances total for Randy, 5 doubles, 11 home runs. He's hitting 336, 414, 690 for the slugging percentage. Good for a 1.104 OPS. Over 128 plate appearances. Randy's that guy in the playoffs, man, and we need him to be that guy. We got to see him. Got to see him turn it on, do his pose, and yeah, just get this game on, baby. Cal Raleigh did not do very well in 2022 for the playoffs there. 24 plate appearances. He hit only 227 with a 292 on base, but a 409 slugging. So there, I mean, I would say it's similar to Crawford. A 701 OPS for him. Similar to Crawford, but we need more out of him. And obviously Cal is a different hitter now, so I wouldn't exactly like rank on that or, expect him to not be able to perform when it matters the most because Cal's a different hitter right now. He's obviously a different hitter. As for the pitching side of it, I thought this was pretty interesting. Luis Castillo looked fantastic in that 2022 playoffs. 2 games pitched for him, 14 and a third innings pitched, 11 hits given up, 3 earned runs, 2 homers out of that. So that's a little scary, but 12 strikeouts all came out to a 1.88 ERA. Logan Gilbert is up next. He only had 1 start, 5 and a third innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 5 Ks, comes out to a 5.06 ERA. It's not the same. Not what you're looking for. We need Gilbert to come through. Kirby looked fantastic in his 1 start, 8 innings, 6 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. He performed. He performed. Matt Brash was another guy that performed. 3 and a third innings in relief. 4 strikeouts, no hits, no walks, no earned runs, nothing. Andres Munoz got beat up a little bit. I mean, the Ks were there, but my goodness, 5 and 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits given up, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Gotta see Munoz lock it down for that closer role, baby. Gotta see him hold on because we're gonna need him this playoff time. We're gonna really need him through this playoffs because the rest of the bullpen has been a little rough. We've seen Vargas show some holes. We've seen lately Bizardo have some holes in his game. They're not getting blown up necessarily, but getting a little roughed up, and we need Munoz to be able to be that rock at the end of the bullpen there. Alrighty, let's break down the Guardians versus the Tigers. Game 1 is this afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna be locked in. We've got that game. We've got the Cubs versus Padres at 3. We've got the Red Sox and Yankees at 6 o'clock Eastern. This is all Eastern time, and then we've got the Dodgers versus Reds tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. Guardians versus Tigers, game 1. This is a matchup that we've seen before many a time. And when I say many a time, I mean the past 2 weeks. We've seen these teams face off. We've seen these pitchers face off. Gavin Williams versus Tarek Skubal. Again, we're doing it again for the 3rd week in a row. I'm here for it, man. These teams have had so much time to look at both of these pitchers, and both of these pitchers have looked very good in the past 2 starts, so I'm really curious to see what happens here. Gavin Williams, first off, let's cover him first. 6 innings pitched at last start versus the Tigers last week. 4 hits given up, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. An amazing performance. 18 whiffs in the game, a 44 CSW percentage. That's absolutely fantastic. The start before that was very good as well. Not as amazing, but very good. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks given up, 9 strikeouts, good for 16 whiffs in that game, 30 CSW percentage. Williams has looked fantastic, and he's mixing up his arsenal perfectly. Using his sinker a little bit more, especially in the last start, for a lot of called strikes. He's got the fastball, the curveball, the sweeper, and the sinker and the cutter. Mix it all together, and it is working for him. And the curveball's getting those swings and misses like it needs to. And then the four seam wasn't working as well this last start, and he started throwing in the sinker a little bit more, and it seemed to work. It seems that as soon as his fastball starts to dip a little bit, he switches in the sinker and the cutter, especially just kind of as strike getters. Um, in the sweeper versus righties, the curveball versus lefties, it just works, man. So Williams has looked really good these past two starts, and I am beyond curious to see what happens in this next start versus the Tigers. You know it's going to be close. You know it's going to be a great series. I'm going to be locked in, not just because we got to face them, but like just good baseball. I hope. Skubal, of course, the should be Cy Young winner this season, is going to be going for the Tigers. Past two starts for him. Past start, first off, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits given up, 3 runs, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. He had 16 whiffs in that game, which is fantastic, and a 35.8 CSW percentage. Skubal obviously made that throwing error to the first baseman on that bunt. Tried to make a sick play, and it just didn't work out. I have the utmost confidence in Skubal. I've always liked Gavin Williams, but I don't know if confident is the word that I would use for him. But Skubal, how could you not be? He's just been a stud through and through. The start before that versus the Guardians, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run given up, 7 hits, which is a little high, 2 walks, and then 9 strikeouts, 20 whiffs in that game. That's crazy. A 31.4 CSW percentage overall for Skubal that start 2 weeks ago. And now we're doing it again. I really don't know who's going to win this game. I don't know. I will stand by that. I think the Tigers should win. They should win this game and they should win the series. But then again, they should have also won the division and they didn't. And the Guardians are hot right now. But it's not even their hitting that's hot. It's only the pitching. So it's really tough. It's really tough to decide. I don't know, man. My baseball brain is breaking. I'm an analyst at heart, and I'm an analyst at heart, but it's difficult with baseball because listen, baseball just does baseball stuff every once in a while. And and the baseball thing here would just be like ride with the hot hand and say the Guardians are going to win the series. Don't think their hitting should be good enough. But then again, if it comes down to like a couple key hits in this 3-game series, then yeah, the Guardians could easily win it. But I'm still going Tigers. I just don't think they're gonna lose this series. I don't know. Now listen, Mariners fans, as a Mariners fan, I am rooting for the Guardians. I think I would rather face the Guardians, which is very weird. I think I want both teams to look bad. Well, I want both teams to not look good in this series. So that I feel even more relaxed for the Mariners facing one of these teams. I'm gonna say the Tigers. Rooting for is tough. I don't know, man. I want them both to look bad. I guess I would rather face the Guardians just because the hitting is so bad that I feel like the Mariners should be able to cruise to a couple of runs. Um, so yeah, give me the Guardians. Let's root for the Guardians. I think we have a better shot versus the Guardians. Obviously we'll probably break down Guardians and Tigers. I just think Tigers generally have a better offense than the Guardians. Most teams do, so hard not to go wrong there. But either way, yeah, I'm very happy we're facing one of these teams and not the Red Sox or Yankees because that's not yet, anyways. Because we're gonna get there. We're probably gonna get there eventually. But either way, well, sorry, we might not get there. Yeah, we'll find out. Final topic here. What are some keys to victory? Keys for the Mariners to make the World Series. You need a lot of things to go right to break your way to make a deep playoff run. Two keys for me. First one, this rotation needs to be on, man. This rotation needs to be at the top of their game. And we know Wu should be at the top of his game. We just need to make sure that pectoral is in check and not tightened. But Wu, performance wise, I have no worries. Luis Castillo, we've seen him lock it in September. He's been absolutely fantastic, lights out, and he's still not getting the swings and misses on the slider or the changeup like I had been hoping he would, but he's been able to get it done regardless. So I gotta see Castillo on Gilbert. I feel like I've just been a little worried watching Gilbert. Um, I think just because he's not a guy that's gonna go super deep into the game these days, and I think he just doesn't throw enough strikes. But the splitter has been working for him, and the fastball up in the zone is exactly where it needs to be. Just need to make sure that he's throwing enough strikes. And then Kirby has looked very good, and he's a guy that I think could easily be an X factor for this team. And I think he could just be dominant. And to have four quality starters is so huge, and the Mariners need them. They need them to lock it down. Now the offense has been doing their thing. Doesn't mean I'm not a little worried. But they have been doing their thing. Raleigh, Julio, Naylor, Polanco, they've all just been cruising right now. They need to be taking the extra base, getting on base, taking second, getting those steals in, passing the baton to the next guy, pass it to the next guy, because this lineup is deep. Canzone is another guy that is just a sneaky quality bat. We've seen JP Crawford be really good in September so far. And I just want to see it keep going. Just keep it going. And then the clutch homers. They've been doing it. We've been seeing it. But those clutch homers got to come through. And Gino is that guy that I think we need some clutch homers from. Some key moments. We're going to need Gino to come through in the big moments. And Julio as well. Julio's been coming through with the homers as well. So taking the extra base, passing the baton on this lineup, keeping it moving, keeping guys going through the lineup. Naylor, I think could have a couple key hits versus lefties. A couple, maybe a lefty reliever or so, because he's been decent, good enough versus lefties. He hasn't seen them as much this season because he's just historically not as good versus lefties. But these days he's been pretty good, and I'm willing to take the shot here. And I think he could get a couple key hits if a lefty leaves a meatball over the plate. So yeah, that rotation's got to be locked down, got to keep them in the game. And I think as long as they're in the game, offense can do their thing and be comfortable and just keep the line moving. Take the extra base and just keep the hits coming because they can do this, man. They can do this. They have the team, they have the blueprint ahead, and I think we can do it. I'm not terrified of any team in the AL, especially. Once we get to the World Series, we can talk about that. But either way, either way, feel very good about this team. Feel great. Feel really good. This is the best I've felt about a Mariners team in a long time. So we'll see. We'll see. Stay locked in. Watch the playoffs. Take a look at the enemies. See what we're working with. And try to enjoy some of it. Try to enjoy. All right, guys. I'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one.